Chambers Bay was the scene of one of the most dramatic U.S. Open finales ever witnessed. Sean Wells and I were fortunate enough to be on hand for the action. Here's Sean with a story.
The biggest names in all of golf were on hand for the 115th U.S. Open being played at Chambers Bay Golf Course in University Place. This was the first time in U.S. Open history that the championship was played in the Pacific Northwest. Current Masters champion 21-year-old Jordan Spieth was trying to become the youngest player to win both the Masters and the U.S. Open in the same year. The championship started Thursday amongst controversy that the greens were not proper for U.S. Open play. Tour player Billy Horschel had a tough go-round at Chambers Bay and was not impressed with the play of the greens and the inability for fans to get close to the action.
We want to have the experience, and the fans weren't able to have that experience this week, and that's disappointing. It's just a frustrating week with the greens and the fans and everything else that sort of accumulated into one.
The tough conditions didn't seem to bother some of the top-ranked players in the world as Dustin Johnson, Jason Day, and Jordan Spieth were all in the final two pairings on Sunday. The championship came down to the final hole with Spieth and Johnson tied at 4 under. Spieth birdied 18, putting pressure on Johnson, who responded with a magnificent approach shot, putting him 12 feet from the pin for eagle and an opportunity to win it. But Johnson couldn't sink the putt, leaving him a tester coming back to force an 18-hole playoff. The putt was offline, and Spieth became the youngest U.S. Open champion since Bobby Jones in 1923. After getting a taste of the U.S. Open, Northwest golf fans are hungry to see another major in the near future. The number 6 ranked player in the world, Jim Furyk, was asked if he'd like to see the U.S. Open back at Chambers Bay. Furyk said that's out of his control.
They're not going to ask. I mean, players, we always have our opinions, whether we like the golf course or not, whether we think it's a good golf course or not, but it's obviously not. It shouldn't be, but it's not taking in the credit.
For iFIBER 1 News, Sean Wells.
You can bet your bottom dollar, Sean, and I'll be the first in line if the tournament returns. It gave you everything you wanted as a golf fan: drama, intrigue, and controversy, and provided a stiff challenge for the best golfers in the world. The Wenatchee Apple Sox opened a 3-game home series with Yakima Wednesday.
It was a beautiful evening for a ball game at Paul Thomas Field. The Pippins bats were sizzling through the first 3 innings, with Yakima scoring 5 runs off 11 hits. Evan Douglas went yard with a 2-run shot. It was his first home run of the season, and Wenatchee came back to tie it 5-all in the home half of the 4th. The Apple Sox added 1 in the 5th to take their only lead of the contest. The Pippins pushed a run across the plate to tie it in the 6th. Yakima exploded for 4 runs in the 7th and then held off a late Apple Sox rally to win it 10-8. Danny Amaral had the hot stick for Wenatchee, going 3 for 5 at the dish with a double and 2 RBI in his Apple Sox debut. Zach Haggett got the nod and gave up 5 runs off 12 hits in 3 1/3 innings of work on the hill. Anthony Cantonio tossed 2 innings of relief and was tagged with the loss.
The Apple Sox dropped the second game of the series 7-4 last night. Wenatchee hits the road for a 6-game stretch beginning tonight in Victoria, BC. The River Dogs are in Concord, California for the Zoots Invite. The Spuds are on the road for the Pullman Tournament. The Walleyes are in Chelan Saturday for a doubleheader, and Ephrata Night at the Races at Ephrata Raceway Park Saturday has been postponed due to extreme weather conditions. The event has been rescheduled for August 1st. Well, have a great weekend and try to stay cool. We'll be back right after this break.